Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
All right, Mr. Senke, you had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Miller over in Lincoln Park.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let's go on the record in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Quentin Miller, 2600113. And counsel, your appearance, please.
Good morning. Good afternoon, Your Honor. Christopher Shemke, appearing on behalf of my client. It's time to consent to the matter being heard via Zoom.
Thank you. And Mr. Miller, your name for the record, please. Please unmute.
Quentin Miller.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Miller is in custody in Lincoln Park in the lockup facility over there on a matter, it appears over there. And this is regarding the 27th District Court. And so, counsel, as to the arraignment.
We waive formal reading. My client stands mute.
Waive the formal reading. Sir, you have the right to have an attorney. If you're unable to afford one, you may have one appointed to represent you. And you did, in fact, have an opportunity to speak to an attorney today, correct?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right. The court has also signed the petition to order for appointed attorney for felony matters. And, sir, you have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have a trial by a judge or by a jury. And you also have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing may be used against you in court. Do you understand those rights?
I do.
All right. The court will enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf and schedule this matter for probable cause conference on February 5th at 10:45 a.m. And counsel, as to bond.
Your Honor, my client, he's a seasonal worker. He does snow removal. He does live alone in Detroit. It's my understanding that at this time he doesn't have any pending cases, nor is he on probation or parole. So I'd respectfully request leniency when determining an appropriate bond. He's been in custody since yesterday, so he did miss a snow day. Financially, he's got a bit of a constraint. So I'd ask consideration for a personal bond. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. And sir, what are you currently in custody for in the city of Lincoln Park?
Got in an altercation with a person at their house. I don't know the charges.
Have you been arraigned yet?
No, I haven't. They said about. I haven't talked to anybody about anything. I've been here 2 days.
And sir, if you were to test right now, is there anything in your system?
No. No,
The
I
alcohol in
was
your
sober in
system?
this situation.
What's that?
No. I've been in a holding cell for like 2 days. So yeah, but no, I was sober when the situation happened.
Okay. And sir, how long do you live in Michigan?
Yeah, I've been in Michigan for probably 6 months.
Okay. So where are you living in Michigan?
Actually, I've been staying at 1050 Goddard in Lincoln Park.
Where?
In Lincoln Park. That's where I've been staying.
That's great. It's a large city, sir. Do you have a specific address?
Yeah, I did. I said 1050 Goddard.
Okay. So then, sir, why are you still putting your address in Ohio?
I don't. That's what's on my identification card.
Well, that doesn't mean that's where you live. Why didn't you change your identification card?
I don't know.
No, you know. You just have chosen not to do anything with it.
No, I didn't. I don't know. I've only been where I'm at now. I've only been there for just a couple weeks.
And where were you before 1050 Goddard?
I was downtown. I was just staying in a hotel. I've been staying in a hotel, like moving around with work around Detroit area. But as far as like hiding anything or something like that, no, I don't have anything to hide, no. And I didn't know anything about this situation. When I got released, I didn't have no paperwork or nothing. It was just, here you go. And I never got a phone call or nothing.
All right, and sir, are you currently on probation in any other court?
No, this is new here.
Ever failed to appear in court for any reason, sir?
Not in Michigan. Back home, I had, I think.
Okay, and are those still outstanding, or have you taken care of those matters?
The one I had a probation thing, but I never, like, I just haven't been back or nothing like that. This is messed up, I think.
So does your probation officer know that you relocated up to Michigan?
Yes. So last I talked to her, she knew exactly where I was at. Yes. Did
you have permission to leave the state of Ohio?
At that time, I was done with probation. It was my last visit. She knew where I was going, and that was it. And that's been months and months and months and months ago. I don't know why this is a subject.
Okay, based upon defendant's lack of stable address here in the state of Michigan and the lack of clarity as it relates to Mr. Miller's status in Ohio regarding probation or failing to appear for probation or whatnot, the court wants to also ensure the safety of the public. The court's going to order a $30,000 10% bond. In the event, sir, that you post bond, you are not to be released without a GPS and alcohol tether through the Wayne County Jail. And you're not to possess or consume any alcohol or drugs unless prescribed. And then we will see you back on February 5th. Thank you. Have a good day. All right, let's go off the record. Okay. Have a good day, Mr. Shemke.
You too. Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Quinton does the snow removal, living up in the Detroit cold. Staying down on Goddard Street, but his Ohio ID is getting old. The judge slapped him with a 30 grand bond and a brand new GPS tether. He's stuck inside the Lincoln Park lockup, missing all the winter weather. He said his Ohio probation was over, but the paperwork wouldn't agree. We'll see you back for prelim. Hope you're content waiting in custody.
Next matter is Ashley Bagby and David Losiewski, file 14-15600-DP. I do see Ms. Bagby and Mr. Losiewski. They're both with us. Ms. Spillane, can you update me as to this matter, please?
Yes, sir. This matter had been adjourned from February 27th to monitor the plaintiff's payments. Her current balance is $20,645.17. Monthly obligation of $388 plus an additional $194 ordered on arrears. Last payment received was for this month, totaling $650. Last month was $500. And I also received recent communication from Ms. Bagby, but seeing that she is here, I'll let her kind of tell you what's going on.
All right, Ms. Bagby, how are you doing on your payments? I'm sorry, you're on mute, ma'am.
Can you hear me now, Your Honor?
I can, thank you.
Thank you. I feel I've been doing really good on my payments. I've made getting Brixton's money a top priority. I about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, started planning to move jobs to get a full-time job in Kalkaska. I was offered one at the hospital, cleaning for better money and more hours. And when I moved over there last week to start, after 3 days with the person I was living with, we were not getting along, and he was starting to call the police. And I came up with a way to get out. And I'm back in Sheboygan right now. My boss has offered me my job back. However, she's not offering me more pay, and I'm not getting a consistent 6 to 7 hours a day with her. So I'm asking that the court adjourn this out for a month to allow me to try to get some full-time employment. And also, I've had a really, really hard week with everything falling apart with a new job. And I'm thinking about possibly checking myself in for some mental health help, as I can't stop crying this week. So I was just wondering if the court would be okay with adjourning this out for a month so I can get some mental health help and restart again.
All right. Mr. Losiewski, have you been receiving the payments that she's been making?
Yes, sir.
All right. She
I have to
is,
check that card, but I do believe I have been.
all right. Do you have anything else that you want to tell me, Mr. Losiewski?
I just think that her getting some help would be a good thing, Your Honor. She's still to this day posting online about how I'm a rapist and all this horrible stuff. She won't quit doing that, so she needs to get something going on, and it's hard for me not to be angry at somebody that keeps doing this over and over again, but I'm trying my best. She called me last night, and was having a big crying fit and everything, and I don't want that to happen anymore. I haven't talked to her in years, and so if we can have something, please, if the court could ask her not to contact me and be doing that stuff anymore. And I don't know if the court has any power to tell her to stop harassing me online like that. And I got people contacting me all the time. Look at what she's posting, and it's horrible to have to deal with. I've done the impossible, which is to convince an investigating officer in 4 different counties now that I'm not a rapist. I've been investigated by 3 different state police posts, 4 different counties, 3 different city police departments, and the FBI. I've been investigated by everybody over these allegations over and over again, and she will not stop.
Well, it sounds to me, Mr. Losiewski, I appreciate that is a difficult thing for you, but it sounds to me like you have the upper hand at this point, because if she's going to continue to cry wolf, nobody's going to believe her anymore. So I appreciate what you're telling me. Continue to take the high road. That is what adults do when they're faced with circumstances like this. So I appreciate all of that. Ms. Bagby,
Yes.
You are here today asking for some grace from the court. So I'm going to ask you to do the same and give some grace to Mr. Losiewski. Whatever your feelings are towards him, it doesn't do anybody any good for you to keep making these allegations out in public. The only thing you're doing is hurting people that don't need to be hurt. You're not helping yourself. You're certainly not helping him, and you're only making yourself look bad. If I were an employer and I knew that there was a public feud between a potential employee and somebody else, would I really want to hire you? You understand what I'm saying?
I'm trying to, Your Honor, but I am listening, Your Honor, but I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around this because you're not aware of all of the details. But I'm trying.
That's not true, Ms. Bagby. That's not true. I went back and looked at your entire file some months back when these first came out. I went back and I read all 5 of the very large file. Hey, let me finish. I read all of the large files that you have within the court system here. I read every single page. So it's not that I don't know. I know too much at this point. So what I'm telling you is, if you're going to come to me and you're going to ask for some understanding and some leniency and some grace, then I'm simply going to ask that you afford that same set of circumstances to Mr. Losiewski. Whatever it is that you think about him, and you're entitled to your own opinion, but that doesn't mean that you have to broadcast that opinion to everybody that comes along. So if you're going to ask me for some grace, I expect you to proffer that same grace to other people. So I'm going to give you what you're asking for. You have shown me over the last couple of months that you can work and that you can make your payments, and I want to congratulate you on that. I want to say that's good, but that needs to continue, and you need to tone down the rhetoric. Even if you totally believe what you're saying, that doesn't mean that it helps anybody else. You can, hopefully you've seen by now that simply spewing hate doesn't do any good. Even if you think it's true, it still doesn't do any good. So let's tone it down. Let's stop it. Let's get on with your life. Heal yourself. And the only way you're going to do that is to get past this. All right. So I'm going to give you 30 days. Go get yourself some treatment. I think that's a good thing. I think you're in a good spot because you're trying to do that. So I'm going to reward that. And then we'll have you back here in 30 days and talk about how you continue to make your payments. All right.
Thank you, Your
very
Honor.
much. That's all for today.
What I wanted, which was for it to be adjourned out a month, so I can go get some mental health help. I said I'm not doing so good. So I'm not moving to class.
Can we turn off or mute Ms. Bagby?
You got 30 days to mute the microphone and heal. Stop typing on the web about the way you feel. You cleaned up at the hospital but need a little rest. So take a breath and show the court your very best. Just tone down all the rhetoric and show